guys, today I have sort of a fun video for you. So this is my top 10 summer mainstream polishes. I was totally inspired by Jo from Polish Talk. She did one of those a few weeks ago already, and I was still kind of in the spring mood back then, but then I figured summer is approaching. It's finally warming up here in the Midwest, so I figure it's a good time to jump onto this. So I picked 10 polishes, and I think this year I do feel a little bit of a different vibe when it comes to summer polishes. This year I do very much feel like just getting into the mid-century kind of vibe, you know, the 60s, 70s kind of color scheme here. So a lot of the colors I picked here are not very much your typical traditional summer shades, but still they are vibrant and just fun. So let's see what I have picked for you this time. First, you always need a white in the summer. I think white nails with a slightly tan skin, it just looks perfect. And for me, I actually picked a off-white because I kind of feel the added little beige color in there makes it a little bit more vintage looking, and then that's what I'm going after this year. So the shade that I picked for white is OPI, Don't Cry Over Spilled Milkshake. So this one came from the Grease collection a couple of years ago, and it kind of makes sense because Grease, the movie itself was what, in the 80s, right? Or 80s or 90s. It's a little bit vintage looking, so I really enjoy this shade. The formula is pretty easy for a white. It is a little bit streaky, but with a steady hand you definitely could get this opaque and even in 2 coats. Then I picked a more like a nudie color. So this one particularly is a little bit also vintage looking. I'm gonna use that word a lot because that's what I'm trying to go after. This is from ESSIE. The color is called Come Out to Clay. So I really enjoy this color because it does have a bit of that clay color in there, and it's a little pinky, a little beigey, and kind of muddy. It's just a really strange color in a good way, and I really enjoyed this. The formula is easy to work with, and ESSIE now has the wider brush, so this really just applies easily. And I think a nude color like this could really be perfect in the summer too. Then going slightly deeper, this one is a little bit more cool toned. It's a kind of purplish gray. This is from ZOYA. The color is KENDAL. I really like pastels in the summer because I think the contrasting kind of cool toned light whitish color against the tan skin, it just looks perfect. And I love pastels in the summer more than I wear them in the spring actually. So this one I just enjoy it very much because it's subtle, but also it does have a tinge of color. It's grayish and lavenderish, and it's not too loud. It still passes as a neutral, so I think this one is perfect for the summer too. If you have to pick the most vintage color in my whole 10 polishes I'm mentioning right here, it has to be this one. This is from Sally Hansen. It's from the Insta Dry line, and it's a matte finish. I believe this one came out a couple of years ago, and it was initially sent to me to review for PR purposes. And back then when I received it, I thought it was a cool polish, but I didn't really get drawn to the color all that much. But oh man, this one is just so vintage. It's the perfect kind of brassy gold, and it dries matte, which is even more of that kind of era feel. And of course, this one naturally dries matte. That doesn't mean that you couldn't put a glossy top coat over it to make it glossy if that's what you prefer. I think this one really looks gorgeous either way. And this one has a really strong kind of gold shimmer, and it's definitely a yellow gold. And I just love it so much because it's so yellow, so brassy. It's perfect for what I have in mind. And by the way, the color is called Gold Rush. And now let's get into some more vibrant colors. And here I have ZOYA. I don't know how to say this. I should have looked it up. I want to say APHROITE, but it's spelled kind of different. And this one is a red, and this one is a very happy kind of summer red. And this one is a little bit more on the sheer side. After 2 coats, you could still see your nail line, or at least for me, but my nails are kind of long now. It's shimmery. It's a little bit on the watery side, but I really don't mind it because I think in the summer, I love that kind of sheer red, which is exactly why I love it so much. It just has that bubbly kind of happy feeling, and I think it's super cute. You don't really think about reds as a cute color, but this one somehow achieves that look, so I am a big fan. Then I picked an orange. Of course you need an orange in the summer. It's just so vibrant, so sunshine color, right? So this one is from OPI. The color is called No Tan Lines. This one, I love it because it's the true orange. It's not too yellow, it's not too red. It really is just your crayon yellow. And the shade itself is not too light or too deep. It really just is in the middle of the road. And again, it kind of reminds me of those kind of leather couch look, you know, that kind of tan skin furniture look that the mid-century kind of has. So I feel this one is perfect, and I love those kind of right in the middle kind of color because they tend to fit more skin tones because they're kind of primary. So anyways, I think this one is a gorgeous shade. It's really easy to apply. It's an orange, but it's completely opaque in 2 coats. I have no problem whatsoever, and it makes my hands look super tan. So I really enjoyed this one. Then I picked a dusty blue. If you can't tell, like my clothing or even my furniture, I love shades like this. So this is OPI Can't Find My Checkbook. This one was a pretty old polish and it came out many years ago, but OPI has similar shades anyways. I picked this one because it's not too pastel looking, but also it's not like super neon-y or really vibrant kind of blue. It's in the middle of the road. It's mid-tone, maybe slightly lighter than a mid-tone, but also it has a lot of dustiness in it, like grayed out. I think this really reminds me of the lake, or you know, some sort of a really calming summer vacation. Not like the party vibe, but like if you go to a forest and just chill on the side of the lake. So I think it totally gives me that camping vibe, and I am all for that. It gives me that soothing sensation. And I feel in the summer, because there's so many different colors out there, I sometimes get a little color tired, if that's even a thing. But instead of wearing a neutral color as my palette cleanser, sometimes I opt for a calming kind of color like this, and I think that totally serves the purpose. Next, I have a really fun shade. This is China Glaze Turned Up Turquoise. This one, I don't even know how to describe it because it's so unique, and it's not a neon, it's definitely deeper, but it's so bright though. It has that kind of glowiness in it, but at the same time so dark. So it's just really strange of a color. It's a little bit more like a deeper teal. Oh, I don't even know. Like, this is different, but in a very, very good way. And I just like it so much. The only complaint is that this polish is a little older, so the brush is rather skinny. It's a little harder. You have to put in a little bit more effort into that, but the color itself is worth it. It does have a very slight kind of blue sheen. I don't think you can really see that on the nails, but I don't really mind it. I just really enjoy the color. And I can see on camera that this one is a little bit more washed out. In real life, in person, this one definitely is more vibrant. And I had a fair amount of difficulty when I filmed this one, when I took the pictures, because my camera kind of just freaks out and couldn't capture the true color of it. But just know this one is a deeper kind of vibrant color, which is so unique and beautiful. And if this is not your 70s color, I don't know what is, because that's just the green that represents that era, I feel. So I have to pick this one. The next color is from SINFUL Colors, and I can see that those two definitely have a similarity in there, but of course one is a green, one is a blue. And this color is called Rise and Shine. I picked this shade for a very similar reason. It's deeper but still vibrant, but still a little dusty. I think this kind of more vibrant primary color to a little deeper kind of blues and greens are totally my jam in the summer. I tend to wear them a lot. At least against my skin tone, they really jump out. I think that serves the vibrancy kind of purpose in the summer for me. And again, this year I feel something a little bit deeper and vintage-like, so this one fits the bill for me. All right, at the very end, I just have to show you a couple of neons, because let's be honest, like, even though I don't completely feel like wearing neons this year, but I still have to like wear a couple. it's just the thing. It's the summer. You just have to. So I picked two really good ones because I know I just couldn't go wrong with them. I picked Orly Push the Limit. This one, I have a serious fill line. Can you even tell? I just shook it up though, but my fill line is about down there. So I've worn this polish quite a bit. And this one is actually one of my newer purchases. I think I just bought it 2 years ago. So I've only had 2 summers to work on it and I've already had a fill line. This guy is beautiful and gorgeous. It has a wider brush, so it's easy to work with. You definitely do not need white polishes underneath. It's just a 2-coater on its own. It applies like it's a cream, but it dries like a neon, and it's just the perfect of both worlds. And it's a little bit more like a bleached neon, but still super glowy. I don't know. It's just the perfect shade for me, I think. And if you are a little shy for neon colors, you don't feel too comfortable with it, I think this is a great start because, again, it's a little bit on the lighter side. And then the last one, actually, I don't think this technically should qualify as a neon polish. This is Orly VIDA LOCA. This is just a super bright kind of fuchsia color. It's not quite neon, it's not. But this one is unique because it also has a slightly lighter kind of purplish fuchsia shimmer. And that shimmer is so strong. Once you have it on your nails, it looks like your nails are glowing within. And this polish itself, when you look at it in the bottle, it seems to be really watery, but it applies on the nails really easily. I only needed 2 coats. It had no trouble whatsoever. Maybe you can see a slight bit of my nail line, but again, I don't really mind that. I think the glowiness of this polish totally camouflages the nail line issue. I don't mind that at all. I think this is just a really great hidden gem. Like, how come nobody ever talks about it? It's totally worth it if you can find it somewhere and pick it up. You won't be disappointed. So that's my picks for this year's summer mainstream polishes. I am glad I went with a different route because every year I try to find a little bit different of a inspiration. I think last year I was super into neons. Everything was neon. And then the year before I was super into just like fuchsias and reds. So every year I do feel like there's a slight change in my mood. And this year I want to go with vintage. But of course the underlying kind of basic principle for me is still a lot of color, a lot of vibrancy, and a lot of pastels. So that's what I always do in the summer, and I try to switch it up every year so that I can be inspired. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I think I'm gonna try to do some more, maybe like a top 10 indie polish for the summer, or top 10 maybe indie correctly. I don't know, I have to think about it because there are so many good polishes. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.